This is Michael, the host of the WDYM podcast. You ever hear an episode and want to give your 2 cents? Now you have that option with the text and talk. In each episode description up at the top, you see the option for text and talk. Hit that link, start texting, and I'll start talking. Be a part of the WDYM podcast and start texting and talking with me.
You're listening to the WDYM, the What Do You Mean podcast, Hamilton's #1 podcast. Now sit back and relax. Here's Hamilton's own Michael Gillespie.
Being Hamilton's #1 podcast is tough. It's tough out here in these streets of Hamilton. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Michael Gillespie of the WDYM, like Kobe said. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is good. Hope everybody is well. This show today is a little, I wouldn't say weird or anything. Just I'm cautious. I'm cautious how I do things and everything. You know, I haven't uploaded in a while. And, you know, with things always happening and being busy and everything, you know, life always happens and all that stuff. So I'm not making no excuses. But when I am consistently loading and consistently doing the show, you know, some attention does come my way. And, you know, with me being, you know, close to 100 episodes into the podcast, when I get emails about the show, I kind of freak out a little bit. You know, I kind of freak out because you don't expect people who don't listen to or you don't know to hit you up. A couple months ago, I got hit up by two separate people, right? They hit me up saying, hey, we like the show. We like what you do. Sounds great, blah, blah, blah. Putting the butter on the toast, if you get what I'm saying. They are buttering me up, like thinking that I'm a podcasting rock star. That's not the case, but I do enjoy what I'm doing and everything. So hearing this, you know, say, hey, you know, we like your show and we think that we would like to have someone come on your show and talk about X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, wow, you know, I think, you know, with the butter, you know, they buttered the toast and everything. I was like, yo, I must have hit it big this time. You know, I'm finally getting some recognition and all that stuff. And mind you, that I don't pay for advertising yet. I don't pay for advertising just yet. But it's like, when this happens, I get the emails and all that stuff. I sit and wait on it. I sit and reflect on it before I respond. Because I want to make sure that this is very thought out and that this is something that I want to do for the show and everything. So a couple weeks go by. I email them both back, say, hey, thank you for reaching out. If you're interested in the show or having someone come on the show, is there any monetary, you know, am I getting paid for this? Because, you know, nothing's free in this world. Am I getting paid for this? Who is the person you want to bring on? And when do you want to do it? So immediately, I emailed that to both of them, and immediately I didn't get nothing back. So I'm like, okay, this stuff is fake. This ain't real. This is bots or something, right? But then I got an email back from one of them, and they're like, oh, thank you for reaching back to us. My name is this and that. I'm not going to put no names out right now because this still might happen. It's like, hey, we got this person that wants to do it, and they send me links and everything about who this person is, and everything seems legit. With the second one. The first one, they disappeared. The second one, on the other hand, is like, oh, okay, this is legit. They want to bring this lady on to talk about this. I'm like, I can talk about this for a good 20, 30 minutes and get an episode out of it, get paid for it, and everything. I was like, yo, this is the chance to, you know, move up a little bit in the podcasting world. You know, move up a little bit and getting those real serious digit numbers. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Until I start thinking. And I start thinking, like, wait a minute. I have a business email on every show description. Every show description. You want to email the WDYM, there's an email for you to email me, and then we could talk about whatever you want, business related. We could talk about it through that email. Did they go through that email? No, they didn't. They didn't go through that email. And that's the thing that kind of like makes me wary and stuff. Like, number one, how did you get this email that you're emailing me on, number one? And number two, why didn't you go through the business email that's on every show description that I've laid for the past 3-4 years? I'm a little curious about this. Like, now I'm like, wait a minute, this might be fake altogether because they didn't go through the proper channels. I am a former military guy. I'm a veteran. And I know, beating my head as a trainee, is that if you don't go through the proper channels, you're not going to get what you want. And that goes with anything in life. If you want a Whopper, you better not go to McDonald's or Wendy's. You get what I'm saying? That is the proper way of doing things. If you want something to eat from Burger King, you better take your butt to Burger King. That is simple for me, and it should be simple for you. But this person did not go through the proper channels. And lo and behold, I didn't go through with the interview. Now, is this a fear of success? It possibly could be. But what is there to fear? You get what I'm saying? What is there to fear when somebody reaches out to you, gives you links, websites, bios of the person that wants to do the whole guest shot, but they don't go through proper channels? Am I wrong for not having them on the show? I mean, it could have been something significant and make the WDYM even bigger and brighter and everything. But I want somebody to go through the proper channels. Like, where did you get my email? Now I'm curious, like, where did you get my email from? Huh? Like, how did you reach out to me on this email when I got the other email posted, the business email posted? So I'm just a little curious on how things go down. So, yeah, needless to say that didn't happen. And I'm not saying that it won't happen in the future. But I just want you to go through the proper channels. Is that too much to ask for? Anything in life goes through the proper channels. You want this, you go ask this. If you want this, you go email that. If you want this, you do go through the proper channels. And that's all I'm asking. It's like, why didn't this person go through the proper channels or anything like that? I didn't email them about it, but I was like, let bygones be bygones and let it go. And, the line is always open for you guys to do that. But I just want you to go through the proper way. And that's all I'm asking. I don't think that's too much to ask for when it comes to these things and all that stuff. But the cool thing about it was that if I would have did it, money would have been pretty nice. But, oh well. You can't cry over spilt milk if you didn't have milk in the first place and you only had water. Right? So, anyway, to be continued as far as that. Hopefully, other opportunities come in and maybe they'll come back around and say, hey, sorry, we want to do this. We'll go through the proper channels. And this, that, and the other. But we'll see. We will see. So, stay tuned for that. Hopefully, that does come back around. But if it doesn't, oh well. We keep this moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. Ha! So, this episode is about the YPs in life. And you may be asking yourself, like, what is a YP, Michael? A YP is a young person, or plural for young people. YPs is this new generation of teenager, young adults that this generation, they don't give a you know what. You know what I'm saying? They don't give. I'm gonna just say it. Some of them do. Some of them don't. Couple examples of the some that do care. There's this one young lady that I've come across, young person again, but this one is one of the peak level YPs, one of the peak level YPs that do care. They do give a you know what. Again, this is a G show, so I won't be cussing much more, or it's going to be edited out. One of the two. She cares. She cares a whole lot about her job and everything. Never had a problem with her showing up for work. Never had a problem with her anything. No attitude or anything like that. Not like that. She's been pretty good. Matter of fact, I lie. She's been great at it. And then come to find out that this young lady that I'm talking about right now, she is on her grind, so to speak. And I mean, for a young person to be on a grind like this is amazing. So much so that she's even like offered to help me launch this, make the podcast bigger. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool because one, that means she's listened to the podcast, and two, she's offering me help. And I appreciate that a lot. And, The thing with her is that, like I guess, she's on the grind. She has her own business on the side. She's even doing movies on Tubi. So, props to this person that is doing her thing, because it's remarkable. People her age don't do the stuff that she's doing, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. Really proud of working with her and everything. And every time I see her, she's real. She is so real, and I think that's one of the aspects that I like about her a lot. A prime example of her being real, I'll give you two. But number one, as a manager of a department, this, that, and the other, I always been the one that, hey, you got to set the example of how things work, things operate. You got to be the one to say, hey, I come in with a clean uniform. I come in, properly dressed, good attitude, willing to help, yada, yada, yada. And that also comes from the music too, right? Right. You got to have music when you work. I cannot imagine a place where we don't have music. So I'm playing my music, but I play safe music that has no cussing. Some of it may not even have words and stuff, and some of it may be out my realm of being an adult. You know what I'm saying? I will play music from the 80s, which is majority is safe. Some music in the 90s. I'll play wrestler theme music. I'll play cartoon music. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing safe music. Well, one day I'm playing my safe music. She comes in and says, Michael, I'm sorry, but your music is, again, this will be edited out. You won't hear it, but I'm saying, she said, I'm sorry, but your music is, and it's just like, I looked at her first. I'm like, yo, I respect that. I respect that so much, because she's telling the truth. It is. I come on, man. I'm from the 90s. I'm from the hardcore hip hop era where you had the Jay-Z, DMX, Nelly, Eminem, et cetera, et cetera. That is my genre of music, so to speak. And I could play that, but, I can't control what they say. So therefore, I'll play something different. And she called it out, and it's like even more respect for her. So I was like, you know what? I respect you, YP. You are probably the best YP I've worked for in a very long time, right? So, again, props to you. And, hey, I respect you. I respect someone that is real honest, hardworking, dedicated to the job. That's what you ask for. You ask for people like that. And that might be my only example of a good YP, of a great YP. Everybody else that I'm about to mention, no, not so much. One example of a of a YP that's like just didn't have her stuff together was this one young lady I was working with. Again, I'm not going to do names or anything like that for protection, but either way, she would never call off. Like, when you call off, you supposed to, physically, or not physically, but talk to somebody as opposed to text. That was the rules. You don't do that. And when you don't call and text, you say, hey, look, this is unacceptable. The rule book says this. And you have to call somebody to call off. Unless, like, the only time I accept a text message, if you work the morning shift and it's 5 o'clock in the morning and you got to be there at 6, don't call my phone. We ain't having that. I'm going to come in there with a straight mean mug and like, look, call me again like that, I'm going to hurt you. But either way, that is the thing. What she did was, right, she was complaining, like, she was leading up to this call off because, again, this was linked to a weekend. She was off on the weekend and this was a Friday. And she's like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I haven't been feeling well. Going to school, people got sick. She's just basically laying it out there. And I'm cooking at the time. I'm just looking at her like, okay, blah, 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 whatever. So I get a text because she worked the morning. I get a text saying, hey, Michael, I'm sick. I'm not coming in today. And I'm like, And I told her, like, look, you need to call. This is unacceptable. This, that, and that. She's like, that's not acceptable. I said, yeah, go read your employee handbook. It says, you have to call somebody. So she sends me a picture. She sends me a picture on the cell phone with with tissues in her nose, and she's holding the tissue box. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, that means you're sick. She sent me the picture like I'm supposed to be like, oh, okay. Now I see all these tissues in your nose and tissues in your hand and the tissue box in your other hand. That's supposed to imply that you're sick, right? I said, no, ma'am. I said, great effort, but no, ma'am. I'm going to need a phone call. Because I'm not calling you. Why are you trying to trip? You need to call me. Does she call me?
No, sir, no ma'am, no ham, no bacon. Won't be doing it.
No, she did not call me. She didn't call me. And then here's the kicker. She called the other server who was there and said, hey, did you talk to so-and-so? Because she's not coming in. I said, no, I did not talk to so-and-so. And because of that, if she does not call within the allotted time, she's going to get canned. Did she call? No, she didn't. And lo and behold, she got canned. And here's the thing about it. I worked with her family. Like, her mom set her up to come here and work at the facility I was at. And, she's like, I'm like, what's going on? Like, why is she not coming to work? And she was like, she didn't know herself. She's like, what do you mean she ain't coming to work? And I showed her the stuff and all that stuff. She said, oh, heck no. G-Show. Remember, this is a G-Show. She said, oh, heck no. And then that was the last I seen of her mom. Needless to say, that didn't work out. Another one. Another YP. This young person came in half-baked all the time. All the time. And this guy was already in trouble a lot. Again, these YPs don't care. This YP's like, yo, he knew me from a previous job and everything. He's like, yeah, Mike, I heard, you a good boss. He's like, yeah, what do you want me to do? I said, hey, man, if you can make these cakes, make a cake, I'd appreciate it. Because, I'm working, focused, cooking and all that stuff. You can make the cake, we'll be good. Again, why people don't care. He's up in there grabbing the cake mix and everything and grabbing milk and he's grabbing chocolate chips and all that stuff. And I'm just, as I'm cooking, I'm walking by, doing my thing, but make sure he's doing his thing. He's taking him a really long time to get this stuff done. I'm looking at him like, yo, what's wrong with this cat? Like, yo, YPs, he's had the smell on him, didn't cover himself. You can, I've been around, like, I know what marijuana smells like. I was like, okay. So he's sitting there thinking, like, and I just walk up to him, like, is there a problem? You okay? He's like, yeah, no, it's cool, bro. I was just, like, wondering, do I need to put milk or water for the cake mix? I said, technically, it don't matter, but, for this cake that's already complete, all you got to do is just, add some water. He's like, well, how much water should I add, man? I'm like, well, if you read the back of the bag, it's going to tell you how much water to put in and how to do it, right? He's like, oh, got it. Okay. I was like, what's the chocolate chips for, dog? He's like, oh, yeah, I was gonna spice this up. And you hear that? He's always rubbing his hands like, yeah, I was going to spice this up to, man, make this a good chocolate cake. I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe this is what you do. Maybe everybody likes when you come in and you're like, this is my favorite cake because this YP, this young person, is like, yeah, he makes a good cake. So I let him be. I get my food done. You get the cake out, and it's falling apart. It is falling apart, and it's the driest thing cake I've had in the longest time. I didn't know you can make cake taste like the desert or what the desert would taste like. This thing was dry, like so dry. It's like a Popeye's biscuit dry, but you need water immediately because it sucks. It evaporates all the water in your mouth. Okay, I said, young man, you're not making cakes ever again. I'll find somebody else to make cake, or I'll come in and do the cake my daggone self. But bro, I was like, yo, this ain't gonna work. Again, came in on a higher level of mental preparedness, whatever you want to call it, and he just couldn't make a cake. And I was like, I don't understand how you don't make a cake. So another one, and now this one is linked to another one. So this YP young person is someone that I used to work with before, and this YP, she's got a thug mentality, but it's with reason, right? If you get what I'm saying. Not everything is white picket fence, sunny day, and everything. And I get that. And I get that with her, right? And, you know, I feel like work with her in the past and everything is that she needs someone that's like, hey, look, you never had an example of a good friend. This is what I say to her when we have private conversations. Like, this is an example of what a good adult friend should be like. And, you know, there's ups and downs with this one. But I think she's slowly starting to understand, like, what is a good friend. So her first couple of days, she's working hard and everything. And then my boss rolls up on her. She says, hey, how are you? She turns around. She goes, hey, man, who the are you? I was like, what? And I wasn't there at the time, but my boss rolls up on me and says, hey, is that the new server you got? I said, yeah, you know. She's like, you know what she said to me? I said, what? She said, who the F are you? I said, nah, she didn't say that. She would never. She wouldn't do that. She's like, yes, she did. I said, nah, I don't believe you. It's like, she said, yes, she did. I was like, okay. So I pulled her to the side. I said, Thug One. That's what I'll call her from now. Thug One. I'm like, hey, look, did you say who the F are you? She said, yeah, because I didn't know who the F she was. I said, dog, y'all, you was going to kill me. I said, yeah, like I done brought your butt in from the streets of Cincinnati and you coming up a hill acting a monkey. I said, I'm going to need you to take that 10 down to a 2. She said, okay, you know, I just like, don't blame me. So I'm just trying to find out who this person was. I said, that person is my boss. And if she's my boss, that means she is your boss. She said, oh. I said, Lord Jesus, you supposed to be serving people, smiling, being happy, say, hey, welcome to so-and-so, and not be going off on people like this. You just can't do that. She said, oh. So, okay. I said, cool. So working with her regularly now, we worked before, but it was just like a couple days and stuff like that. Working with her now, like I see things, and I don't know if she's aware of it, but she has the people's eyebrow, right? She has one eyebrow that just fires up when she's angry, upset, and everything, and it fires up all the time. And then occasionally she'll say something, and this is the thing. I don't think she means what she says, but she'll just say it like I call that rap energy. She's like all in your face, like Busta Rhymes, yeah, like that. You get what I'm saying? So she has minor rap energy, and some people don't know how to take it. But her intentions are good. And, you know, and that's why, like, I rock with her. She knows how to do the job. She's great at the job, period. But she comes off a little raw sometimes. And it's like, you know, it's like, hey, that could be coached and mentored with somebody. But, you know, it takes time for that. And she's very young. She's a very young person. Has mad potential. But, you know, it comes with time, and she'll get there. I guarantee you, she's going to be great in about 5 to 6 years. She's going to be great. I believe in her. That's the number one thing. I believe in her, and I think she can do great things if she puts her mind to it, but she does have a little distractions. But the main YP, and I'm going to call her Thug 2. This one, Thug 2, because Thug 2 and Thug 1, they know each other. Right? And she's like, hey, Thug 1 was like, yeah, my friend, Thug 2, she needs a job. I said, man, say less. Like, hey, yo, if she's anything like you, I could take Thug 2 anytime. I'll take her, and we'll mold her up. We'll get her in shape. She'll be a good addition to the team. I interview Thug 2, and I'm looking across her, it's like, aw. She's just like little old button thing. She just like, saying all the right things and everything. I'm like, cool. Like, she's saying the right things. Yeah, I used to work here, and they ain't paying me squat, and I need to get paid, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well, welcome to the team. We're gonna get you ready and all that stuff, and we're gonna get you right. Like, cool. Thug 2 is a real, like, she's really a thug. And the thing about Thug 2, she's only 4'4", right? So Thug 2 and my past of knowing short females is they dynamite. They are a literally stick of dynamite waiting to go off. And so, like, there'll be signs of it, like I saw in the beginning, but I didn't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? She only 4'4". And nobody should be scared of somebody 4'4", a little Tootsie Roll thing. She's little bitty, itty bitty. I ain't scared of her until I saw the thug in her. Huh? No, she talks the game. She talks straight thug level street. Okay, I look. I know she 4'4", but I'm scared of her. Y'all think I'm playing. And the thing about it is, I know her family, and that's the beauty of it, right? Like, she'd be like, yeah, I work here, and my boss, his name is Michael. And she's like, Michael? Like, I know Michael. And then she's like, yeah. And then her mom's like, yeah, he's a big old nerd. And she comes back and tells me that, and I get mad at first, like, ooh, I can't believe she's talking about me, because she used to be part of the band. Like, you a band geek. Don't you talk about me. But she's not lying. She's not lying. I'm a big old nerd. Hey, you should see the studio. I got Captain America shield. I got Dragon Ball posters. Got Marvel posters. I got just nerdy stuff everywhere in this room. So she's not wrong. And again, I don't mess with her. When she comes one way, I go the other way, because she literally scares me. She gets mad, and there's a vein in her forehead that pops out. She comes in with bruises and scars, like, and I'll be like, hey, Thug 2. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm scared to approach her. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm like, Thug 2. How'd you get that scar or that bruise on your face? And then she snaps at me like, yeah, well, guess what? You should see the other person and what I did to them. I'm like, I am scared to death to ask what you did to that person, because she 4'4". She dynamite. She ready to go off. I'm not playing with her. She comes one way, I go the other. Okay? I check my wallet, make sure it's still in the back pocket. Like, okay, she didn't take that yet. I ain't never seen this before. I am terrified of Thug 2. But the thing that got me the worst is that there was one episode where Thug 1 comes in and said, hey, you got to check what Thug 2 did. I said, oh, boy, I don't want to witness some murder. I said, I don't want to witness some murder. Like, she's like, no, you got to see what Thug 2 did. I said, what did she do? She plays a clip of her talking smack. And I'm like, look, there's smack talking like, hey, I'll mess you up. Well, I'll mess you up, too. That's the general talk of, like, when I was a kid, or that's, general talk when you talking smack. No. Thug 2 is real. She says, hey, look, keep playing with me. I'm going to put you on a shirt. I said, put you on a shirt. Like, she makes shirts on the side. Like, that's a good business, because, my wife, she said, no. At the funeral, you wear rest in peace, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, Lord Jesus. Keep playing with me. I said, oh, Lord. I said, who we got here? I said, Lord, no. I am scared of Thug 2. She said, I will put you on a shirt, brother. And I said, like, who she say brother to? She said that to a black guy. I said, oh, she for real. And he said, this black guy is over 6 feet tall. I said, but she 4'4". She said, Thug One's like, and? I'm like, yeah. I am scared of Thug 2. I ain't never, ever seen somebody as thugnicious, and that's the new word, thugnicious, as she is. I am terrified of Thug 2. This is why, like, hey, if I'm done cooking, she's like, hey, I need a cheeseburger. I said, yes, ma'am, I'll get you a cheeseburger because I'm scared of Thug 2. She real about it too. That's the thing that scares me the most. She is real about it, and it's like, yo, I'm not having anything. But at the same time, like, if somebody comes through and tries to rob the place, I think she'd be like, hey, I'm strapped. I actually think she is strapped, to be honest with you. And that's the YPs. YPs, young people, if you didn't know that, are crazy. There's some good ones, and there's some bad ones, and there's that in between. Thug 1 is in between. Thug 2, I better quit talking because I'm getting this feeling that she is listening to the podcast right now, and I'm sorry. Okay, don't you hit me. Don't you hit me. Young people, love him. My name is Michael Gillespie of the WDYM. Back on the grind as normal. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. And I'm out. Girl Scout, Boy Scout. See you next time. Peace. Watch out for thugs, man.